have now reached the intersection where ideas, beliefs, and perspectives collide. So be free to be you. It's the Crossroads Podcast with your hosts, author, speaker, and transformational strategist, Barzini, and entrepreneur, empowerment coach, and tech diva, Dre Renee. If you're ready to talk love, business, politics, and everything in between, you're in for a ride. Welcome to the Crossroads Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, 100 Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire and tech diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the Crossroads, where there's only one rule: be free. Be you.
What up,
What's
everybody?
Going on?
The curls are
How
back.
y'all doing? Y'all, Dre been
Curly hair,
transforming over the past few weeks. Listen, you know what? We celebrated the birthday the last time we recorded. And I love you, and we had a great time. But you in that ponytail I'm kind of like.
Don't ever pony again.
Listen, not when we gonna record. Y'all listen, and I was doing my best to continue to be the best friend because it was her birthday. But if she moved this ponytail to another, what do you think? Is it better on this side? Okay, what about this side? Okay, what about both? I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh God, listen, you were so good.
And the craziest part is the shit looked the same. There was no difference to me. I don't care what side
hilarious. Because it definitely looked different to me, which is why I asked. But the fact that you're like,
right, I don't know what to tell you. Like
just keep it where it is.
Like right, yeah. I'm saying like right there, perfect. And I was really just saying, nigga, can we just start recording? Goddamn it. But you can't get in a fight on your birthday. You can't No. So listen, y'all.
Thank you.
It's been a long
ride it out. And Barzini celebrated a birthday too. So we are wrapping up our birth month. Happy birthday to you too, sir. And thank you for making my 40th or being a part of making it so phenomenal. Somebody asked me today, like, how was your birthday? And I was like, it was much better than I would have ever imagined it being, knowing that it wasn't what I planned for it to be. So I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah. And a lot of people, just to everybody, I know a lot of people are kind of anxious. Their birthdays are coming up and, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So it's just so limited on what a lot of people are able to do. And so you had a milestone year. So I just wanted to make sure that I can be a part of making it special. Because I know it would have been, if the world was open, I know the turn up would have been way different. A whole lot of yeeps or yelps. Are y'all still YELP or did y'all graduate to the E?
No.
Are y'all over E?
We're yeep.
Well, I don't know.
Yep. It's yep. It's yep. YIP.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because it was yelp for a while on the West Coast.
Yeah. No, West was depending on who you know and when they were made, it might still be YOP, but
now y'all
nationally, nationally it's YEP.
Okay. Bet. So, okay. Dre and I are always on the internet and engaging with y'all, the audience and everything else, and scouring for what we're going to talk about on the show. But in that, we're always finding stuff that makes us say WTF. Yeah. Because it it'd be like, what the fuck? I don't get it. So because half of it, we send memes and find pictures all the time, and it's like,
and it's usually just the image. Like nobody has to say anything. We just screenshot, send it to each other, and let it rock.
and let it rock. It's just like
God. The other person's like,
yeah. And this segment and the show is sponsored by Red Bull.
Yes. Shout out.
Unofficially sponsored.
Sponsored.
That just means we always drinking damn Red Bulls because we record this after a long day, and I'm having a Red Bull then vodka. And You heard that correctly. Not Red Bull and Red Bull then.
Yeah.
I might mix it up. I don't know. Okay, so Dre, you found this one. I did. I'm gonna let you present this weekend of WTF.
All right. So scrolling, minding my business. And I saw, someone posted this meme that someone else made. So it wasn't this person.
It's a repost.
Yes, repost. That says, a woman posted it. A full-grown man that enjoys watching cartoon. First of all, I just realized that it just says cartoon and not cartoons.
Yes, yeah, I caught it.
I missed that. A full-grown man that enjoys watching cartoons is a red flag for me. Sis, really?
Ma'am, I'm gonna get close to the mic. Ma'am, for real, ma'am.
My response was,
just go.
Damn, men can't enjoy shit. That was exactly that was all I had, because I could not think of a rational explanation to even write something like that. Like, he watches cartoons all day, does not have a job, and doesn't contribute to the household. Red flag? Or just...
No, it was just watching cartoons.
Just watches cartoons.
That's
and I literally had nothing. So that's all I had in the thread. So I went ahead and typed that out.
Right. And so,
but as a man, for you to read something like that, and you know, you watch cartoons, how do you feel?
Well, you know what? I don't watch cartoons because they don't really, the ones that I enjoy don't come on anymore. Really, I have to like go on Hulu or seek them out. Now I will actually, I'll go like look at old Tom and Jerry cartoons on YouTube or something like that, or Woody Woodpecker or Voltron. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, and that's the beautiful part about YouTube is you can go back and watch anything from your childhood. So it's no longer, hey, remember? It's like you can literally go pull it up.
And Boomerang on the Cartoon Network. You can watch the Smurfs. You can watch Tom.
Right. Well, see, I don't have all that anymore because I got rid of like all of that because I don't watch TV, and I'm paying ridiculous amounts in cable for channels.
Sling TV. We'll talk about.
You know, I'm probably gonna go to Sling. I have Hulu Live right now.
Okay.
And that's like $70 that I'm paying, but I still don't watch it. So I'm gonna like get rid of that.
Yeah, you can do basic Hulu and Sling for much less than that.
Yeah, I might try that. I'm gonna try whatever combo is gonna save money.
Yeah.
So, or waste money. I'm like, I don't really look at it, but it's like when I look at money that I don't have to spend, because at the end of the year, that's what, $700 after 10 months. So, yeah.
No.
So plus another $140. So yeah, that's $840 at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's a Barzini bonus.
That's a couple of Christmas gifts for me.
For yourself? I was like,
because I don't shop for nobody. That's the advantages of being single.
I'm with it.
Christmas and Valentine's, like. But okay, so my take on this, man, like there's been so many threads. Like, so I found out, men, we're not allowed to take naps. That's a red flag. There was another one. If a man orders appetizers, it was gay to order appetizers. Dessert, we couldn't order dessert either. What else couldn't we do? And now we can't watch. We can't play video games.
No, you absolutely can't do that.
And we can't watch cartoons.
So just go to work. That's all you need to do.
And then like I feel like you get up, you go to work, and then you come home and you just stand still and do nothing.
That's it. Just
and await instructions, because the things we can do is whatever she asks in the moment that she asks. Because if we don't do it right when she says, and that's a problem too, because God forbid we enjoy any of our own time, right? Unless that time is spent watching shit that she likes, or all that, I almost said trash TV, but I know you watch it.
I was gonna say, Real Housewives. I knew it was coming, so I was like, I
forgot. I caught myself.
But that's true. We generally would like you to watch it with us, so we could be like, did you see?
Yeah, that was so. In my last relationship, we had a compromise because I would watch sports all day, every day. So we got into not an argument, but a discussion, because especially in that when football and basketball season crossover, I didn't really watch baseball until like the playoffs of the World Series. But football and basketball, when it intersects, so football, you had Thursday night football. Then there were some college games on Friday, not many. Then Saturday is college football. Sunday, you got your regular NFL games. Then you got Monday night football. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, you watching basketball. And then like the other basketball games that are, so it's just always sports. And I don't like being interrupted when I'm watching sports, but I can literally do it all day, every day. So she was like, we don't never watch none of my shows. So the compromise, she was like, I just want one day a week. And I'm thinking that's reasonable until I got duped. And when I figured out the day she picked, which was Thursday night. And I'm like, there's only really one game that's on Thursday. It's like, okay, I can sacrifice Thursday night football. But what I didn't know is that's when Housewives was on. There's a Love and Hip Hop, one of them reality shows. I don't remember. And then after that, it was like Grey's Anatomy. And then after that was Private Practice or whatever.
Oh, this was a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, this. I've been single a long time. This is very traumatic.
Private Practice doesn't come on anymore. That was a good show. Side note.
I mean, Tay got some flack because he never dated black women in the show, but.
Does he in real life? I don't know.
Yeah, he said he dates black women. He just happened to be married to a white woman.
Okay. Okay. I'm like art imitating life. I don't know.
I'm not going down this path. I have no listen. I can debate, but there's just certain. So yeah, we watched Thursday night. All of Shonda. No, Scandal. Scandal was on too, I think. Mm-hmm. Listen, I was so like I couldn't take it no more.
Yeah.
But that was the compromise. So fellas, yeah, just stand still, dog.
Ladies,
that's all you can do.
Like, don't be ridiculous. That's all I have to say. I feel like the women that I know and the ones that were posting in this thread also felt like that's crazy. But if you happen to think like this, like, don't say it out loud. Just
or find you a dude that don't do nothing.
Good luck.
Right, because I don't know. But yeah, so that was our WTF for the week. No cartoons, y'all. Damn, bye childhood.
What a sad life. Yeah, I was like, dang.
I'm saying, I just hear it's a hard knock life for us.
Yeah, I'm just like, there are so many other things that could be red flags, but that's your red flag. Okay,
that's your red flag. You know what I'm saying? He's smashing the chick down the street because he can't watch cartoons. He ain't got nothing to do with his time.
He down there watching cartoons with her.
Cartoons, anime with Lil Ray.
Yeah,
and Travion.
That is, never mind. I'm gonna leave it.
I don't know what it is for little black kids in these names. It's a Eon or Ante.
Or just a mashup of parents, grandparents, and siblings' names. I saw somebody's name.
No, they do that. They do that to girls.
Oh, whoever.
Like, it's always weird to me, especially like when I don't know if these are men that just wanted sons, but they got daughters, and then they name their daughters after them.
Oh yeah, no, that's bad.
Like, so I went to school with a girl named Earlette.
Yeah, that's the devil's work.
Earlette.
No,
like her daddy
I
was
thank my mom every day. She said my dad wanted me to be named XrossroadZ, and she was like, not ever.
Not even, okay, come on, Charles, not Charlize, at least.
Or like, Charlotte, right? Which is the feminine of Charles.
Yeah, Charlize.
No, XrossroadZ.
XrossroadZ.
Can you imagine?
I do have a friend. She don't like it no more. We used to call her. I won't name her name. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. Okay. But she was named after her father, and it was a feminine version of Charles. Right? It wasn't bad though. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
But it was obvious. But we used to always just call her Chuck.
That's what I'm saying. Or a little Charlie with an eye or something.
Yeah, no, we called her Chuck because she hella cool. So we was like, hey, what up, Chuck? You know, she don't really like it no more. She's like, nah, like, you know, we in our 40s now, so she's like, it's not Chuck no more.
Yeah. That would definitely have to be just the homies or my brothers or something, you know, something in the house. I wouldn't want nobody calling me.
I'm on crunching ice in the mic.
I don't like, well, nobody's ever done it. Only people that don't know me and think like, oh, maybe it's cool is that whole Andy thing. I'm like,
That's white people. Like, let's just name that. That's black people don't do that. Listen, because no, white people abbreviate names differently than black people.
Yeah.
Right. So I get it. Andrea, even though you hate it, there'll be some black people that probably call you Dre or the Drea. You know what I'm saying? And then white people, Andy, right? Like my mom, Cynthia, right? Black people be like Sin. White folks, Cindy. Right?
That's true.
My dad's name is David. Black folks, D. Right? White folks, Dave.
Yeah, I see it.
You know what I'm saying? Me, you know, Jason. Black folks, what up, Jay? White folks, hey, Jace.
Yep,
it's like
you're right.
They just cut your name in half. But I have no idea, right? How the fuck do you get Dick?
Oh, from Richard. Yeah, no, I don't get that.
I don't.
Somebody help.
Right. So William is Bill.
And Bill. Yeah.
Why? Where do you get that? Billy, Bill, like is William.
Willie and Will, yes, but Billy, I don't, and Bill, I don't.
I get okay. Joseph is Joe.
Tony and Anthony.
And
that's more white too, because I don't know two. Well, I know one black Tony. Like my nephew's name is Anthony. We don't do Tony him, and I don't know.
No, black people that's called Tony because their name is Tony. And then we turn it into Tone.
Oh, Big Tone.
Big Tone. Hey Tone. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. So y'all, we actually do have a topic this week.
We do.
So, all right, y'all ready for this one? We've been actually waiting for this one. And I actually had a huge discussion on my cousin's page, ironically. It's come up a few times, but y'all, we're gonna talk about dating while broke. And yeah. And so here's a common sentiment. And it's usually directed towards men, and then they fill women in, like it's always and women too, or women either. So the people always say, like, if you broke, you shouldn't be focused on dating. And I had a discussion yesterday, like it's been a theme for the past few days. So people are like, you know, if you shouldn't be focused on dating if you're broke, right? And I think there was a time where I agreed with it. And I guess right now I don't think I entirely disagree, but I don't feel, my personal feeling is, why is there a financial requisite to love, right? And so, like, as a woman, what are your thoughts as far as like dating while broke? Like, you shouldn't do it. You should, you know what I'm saying? Because okay, let's keep it 100. We're talking about dudes here.
Yeah.
I know people like, oh, well, women too. Man, listen, dudes will pick a chick up off the bus stop on the way to the unemployment office.
I was gonna say, I've never
date her.
I've never been qualified by money or career or any of the above. So, or at least that I know of. Maybe he was thinking about it, but nobody's ever like, before we go any further, let me check out the taxes. So So, okay. Gosh.
keep it
so
keep
tough.
it a buck.
I know, it's a buck. Yeah. I think it depends on what you intend to do within the confines of dating. Like going out to meet people and to have fun, I think only requires you to be able to afford whatever the activity is that you propose to do, or if you guys decide to do Dutch or whatever. I think if you are dating with purpose, you most likely want to be in a position where you can minimally take care of yourself as a man. I don't know any men that would be comfortable seriously pursuing somebody and not being financially stable. They may not be at the place that they want to be, but I don't know too many that would just be like, yeah, I'm cool. So I don't think it's like a right or wrong, or you should or you shouldn't. Like you said, to have companionship or to perhaps fall in love should not have a financial requirement to it. But we do live in the society we live in. Things cost money. Having a place to stay for yourself is important. But also, I feel like once you start getting into the realm of relationship, there should be a level of, can I depend on you if something happens? People may disagree. I don't think you should have to lean on your partner to survive. But, what are you with me for? Or what am I with you for if we can't help each other out? If we can't elevate by being together, then there's no need to do that. But as far as just, hanging out, going to the movies every now and again, or the park, or whatever Rona safe activities that you can do, I don't think that necessarily requires, financing.
Right. Well, okay. So number one, I think I don't want to say the discussion is problematic, but it can get convoluted or murky because there's so many variables because we're never truly defining broke, right? And so I think it lends itself to people to create all kinds of different scenarios. Like people were like, oh, he should be able to take care of himself. Okay. That doesn't mean not broke, because I've been broke, but was able to take care of myself. And then I was a level of broke where I was homeless and couldn't. And I actually happened to be in a whole last relationship when it happened,
But did you weren't getting into, see, I think there's a difference. Like, you're with someone and you fall on hard times. That's different from I'm in hard times. And for me, broke is you cannot take care of yourself.
But it's not really that different, because the only thing that's different is the circumstance of when it occurred, right? But it doesn't change the functionality of the relationship. So if I was doing okay and then hit hard times, while in a relationship, and now I'm broke, that's no different than I start a relationship while I'm broke, because how we function in the relationship is still the same, is it not?
But I know you.
Okay.
I may have developed feelings for you. I care about you.
Right. So
you come to
but am I a different person?
I don't know, because we're at the beginning. I have no idea.
So, but whether I'm in the relationship with you and broke, or we're starting and I'm broke, am I not still the same person?
I wouldn't know, because we're just starting. I think that's the difference. Like, someone developing a relationship with you may be more tolerant, right? Like, you have deposited into the relationship, whether it's monetarily or not. You have enough in the bank to withdraw, figuratively. It may be actually.
Right. But what I mean is
go ahead.
But no, I'm saying I have that same ability though, right? So, okay, I'm saying I'm still the same. It's not whether you know it or not. I'm saying I'm still that same person, whether I started broke or now I get what you're saying. Like, you don't know that, but what I'm saying, the fact is I'm the same person. So I have that same ability, but you won't get to find that out because of my financial status, because who I am and having deposited into the relationship, emotionally, spiritually, all those things that you were mentioning are not predicated on my finance. So if we understand that I still have that ability to fulfill you in those areas, then how much do my finances truly matter? And I'm not saying they don't matter, but I mean, if we can say, hey, all those things matter too, then how much value are we putting on the financial part, or are we putting too much value on the financial part of it? Because I can get money, because if I can have dough and be an asshole.
True.
But I got dough, so I can be in a relationship, right? I get love.
All the variables. I'm saying not having money, not being able to take care of yourself minimally puts a lot of pressure on a situation that's new. And I don't think it puts anybody in a situation to really get to know each other comfortably. You might be dealing with a woman who is understanding, like, meeting me in my 20s would have been more like, oh, let's just see how this goes. You don't ask me for anything, then we straight, or, if I have to, cover a few dates and you cover a few dates, I'm not really tripping. Right. But then there might have been someone that you come up against who is like, absolutely not. If you want to date me or pursue me, then these are the things that have to happen from day one. And so it doesn't allow you, depending on the person that you're with, the space to really get to know. There is this, oh my God, is he going to ask me for something? Or, am I going to be responsible for this? Like, you don't really get to know people. I think, and I don't know, I haven't dated in quite some time. Not a flex, but it is what it is.
You gotta hold up the left hand on that one. Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
It's been a while, but
that was a flex. That was a flex.
You made me. I was just talking at first.
I'm talking about the race. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but. Oh shoot! Now I forget.
Right. Listen, y'all. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. This is her mind ain't all the way right now, because what we didn't announce is the third member of the show. We actually have a lot of invisible characters. My beard being one of them. My beard is a character.
Unofficial host.
And I did shave it. I still got the goatee, the chin and the goatee cracking.
I like it.
Red Bull is a character.
Definitely a character. Mm-hmm.
It's a full character. And the other character,
my hair.
your hair is definitely a damn character, because we don't know who's showing up to the damn show. But hashtag boo. So I know y'all hear hashtag boo quite a bit. For those who don't know who hashtag boo is, it's Dre's fiance, right? And he is affectionately named hashtag boo because he don't like attention and spotlight very much. Quiet guy. Well, he ain't quiet.
If you don't know him,
if you don't know, you would think he's quiet, but he's not a spotlight type person or whatever. So he avoids the spotlight. But if you hear hashtag boo, we're referring to her fiance. But her fiance is now back in the States after deployment, serving our country. Yeah. and
salute to me. I made it 312 days.
Yeah, she was counting, y'all. And so if you notice, her background is different today because she is in a different part of the country. Because
I flew out. No, I didn't. I drove.
She drove. Listen, he landed. She drove. She was on the first thing smoking to go see her hashtag boo.
Absolutely.
So that's why if she's stammering a little bit or she kind of loses train of thought.
That was just and laughing, but yes, we are glad that
you see her skin glowing.
He is home and safe and all of those things. I thought he might try to pop out from behind somewhere. He probably will never actually be on camera, but he might throw his voice in every now and again now that we're in the same space. But I think I'm trying to, what I was getting to was, being out of the game for some time. I don't necessarily know what the rules are anymore, but I feel like, most of what I see on social, because that's really all I have to go on nowadays, is, women expect for the most part to be pursued and taken out. And when we get to that, we're talking about, financially, you would cover the date. I think there are some women who are open to, kind of switching back and forth, or they are the mindset of, if I ask you, then I will pay for it type situation. So I think there's some flexibility there. But if you come to the table where you as the man cannot afford a date, then I think that does raise a red flag for the majority of women, because then it's like, well, yeah, what is the point of this? Why are we dating? Or are all of our dates going to be free dates? Or are you then looking at me to take you out? Now, I already know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, I know where you're going. Or just my brain has been Barzini.
Okay, so let me tell me where I was going. Where would I go?
Maybe you weren't gonna go there, but as soon as I said it,
I'm curious.
I thought to myself, well, maybe men feel the same way. Like, well, why should I be the one to take you, to be responsible for the financial aspect of dates? And honest to God truth, like, I don't know. I don't know why are guys the ones that are responsible for the financial aspect of most things, if not everything. Like, that's literally, I think, what many of us saw growing up. If you grew up in a 2-parent household where there was a man and a woman or husband and a wife, we likely saw that, or some semblance of that. Even if both of your parents went to work, you still saw like dad or the man provider. And then you likely saw your mom, household with the children type situation. And so when you get into the dating relationship, I don't remember that it was ever said to me directly, the man takes care, because that's not how I operated. I always went out to go get it on my own and be able to do for myself, which also confuses situations when then you have men who then say, well, you act like you don't need a man. But you kind of grew up with this whole, well, if you're expecting me to do something, then you're a gold digger. So, there's like all these things. And we talked about this maybe episode 2, right? Like, you don't really know what to do. What is too much? What's too little? What's over the top? What's under the line? And so, yeah, maybe you can give us a little insight.
Okay. So a lot of it is connected to the intent. And I think I even said this today. When it comes to chivalry, it's operating in the understanding that I don't have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women operate, well, you're supposed to because you're the man, right? So let's get one thing clear. I'm only a man because I was born with a penis. You feel me? So I lived a whole life before I got to this point. And you don't know what that life was. You see what I'm saying? You don't know how I was raised, what was put in me. So the assumption is I've learned all these things that I was quote unquote supposed to do. And I'm right now at this age, it's just whether I'm choosing whether or not to do them, and the reality, I just really want people to be honest about these social constructs, right? Because you hear a lot of women say, oh, well, the man is supposed to pay and I feel like a man should pay. And when you say, well, why? No one can really connect to the genesis. Oh, well, because I want him to lead. That's all bullshit. Me paying for dates has nothing to do with my ability to lead. It doesn't. It just means I pay for the date, because the majority of dating men pay for it, and the majority of relationships end. The majority of marriages end in divorce. So, and you have so many, oh, well, he didn't know how to lead, but he paid for the dates. He must know how to lead, right? If his leadership was predicated on him paying, you got a lot of dudes who provide and make a lot of money, but they don't know how to love. They don't know how to show emotional support. They don't know how to do all those other things. So we put so much emphasis, and I'm not saying that there's not a level of importance, but I say we just put too much emphasis on this financial stuff. And I just wish women would say, hey, I feel men should pay because that's some shit I like, right? Now, the problem comes when men start talking about the shit they like. And when that happens, because it's, oh, well, I'm not doing that, or you're not my man. So it's kind of like, it's all these things we're supposed to do from hello. And all these things she'll do if and when. You know what I mean? So like, oh, I love a woman who loves to cook, right? Let me talk about some cooking early on. What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I've actually been fortunate in I've dated women by and large who don't mind paying for dates. And it's like, the more you're willing to do something, the less I want you to do it, right? So I think I even told you about this date, like woman I was head over heels for, right? still care about a whole lot. It's just didn't work out and logistically or whatever. Anyway, conversation for another episode. But we went out and it wasn't a cheap spot, and we was ordering lobster mac and steak this and da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's do it.
You know, and I'm sitting there full. Yeah, I'm the one that named the spot. You know, she named it. I was like, okay, boom, let's go there. So it was what it was. I look away and I look up and she's signing I'm like, the fuck you doing? And she's like, what?
Come on, sis.
You know what I mean? And I was ready to propose right there. Like, oh, you know what I mean? And not to me, and fine as hell, because you do have a lot of those women who, like, the finer they are, the more expectation they have, because dudes is willing to do it based on how they look. Mm-hmm. So here you are, bad as hell. Gang of dudes knocking down your door, paying for the date. Now, granted, it could be argued that she was paying for the date because she's not interested. And I don't want you doing anything for me. Some people say
right.
That's not who she is, though. That's not who she but I was so impressed by that and appreciative of it. It made me want to do even more. Mm-hmm. My last relationship, our first date, she paid because I was broke. You know what I mean? I've been in actually all my relationships that I was in, I was broke. Okay,
so let's pause. Yeah, let's pause. At least the last relationship, because I don't. You may not remember going all the way way back. But so how does that start? Did she pursue you? When I say pursue, who initiated? I guess did she initiate with you, or did you initiate?
I did.
Okay.
No, I did.
Did she know out of the gate?
I initiated, chased, pursued, all that.
Okay. Did she know?
Well, I wasn't broke in the sense.
Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't balling, but that's when I still stayed over there on 88th.
So you were able I wasn't, to at least provide for like. You were still in a space where you had a roof over your head. You had food.
I was surviving.
Right. Okay.
I was surviving.
Which, look, if we keep it real, that's the majority of people. There, a lot of folks are paycheck to paycheck. Please don't let it be any type of emergency because life might be in a tailspin. So a lot of folks that are naming, broke or not, are literally in the same boat. So I think that was a good point that you mentioned. Like, we never really quantify what that is. And for me, my minimal expectation from the time I could date, well, maybe not the time I could date as an adult, and I was doing for myself, I just felt like, do you have a job? Can you, even if you weren't living on your own at the time, because again, we're talking very, very young, were you in school? Do you have a job? You staying on campus, at your parents' house with a roommate, something like that. And then, are you able to be in a position where you can take care of yourself enough where it's not a strain on me?
Right.
And that's the same criteria that I have for myself. Like until I probably would say until this relationship, I cannot remember myself asking anybody for anything,
right?
Well,
and so,
and even here, there's like,
well,
I'm like,
so okay, so so the thing is,
it just wasn't, it wasn't a comfortable thing coming up, and then I think there's always the feeling of like you feel like you're gonna owe somebody. Like in the relationship I'm in now, like we consistently talk about the fact that like we're a partnership now, right? Like there is no like, if ever you need something from me, which I think he tries not to ever, like not even financially, just period. Like he's very self-sufficient and I have to like try to slide in there and do stuff and vice versa, right? But I think generally that is like nobody wants to get caught holding the bag, right? I don't want to be so vulnerable that I needed you in this particular situation so that you can hold it over my head. Or in this case, now we have social media. You can, screenshot my need and put it on Facebook or anything like that. So I think that is where the majority of people come from. Like, look, I just want to be able to take care of myself, and I want you to be able to minimally do for you. Now, once you start talking about joining lives together, then that becomes more serious, because even if you are quote unquote taking care of yourself, you might have debt and student loans, anything else that comes with that, you know, maybe somebody makes less than you, but they don't have any debt. That changes the game, right? Like, oh, you might,
and they're more wealthy than you.
Hello.
Right. But see, so for me, I think the financial aspect becomes important from my purview when we are establishing mindset, right? Because there's the version of being broke because you don't have money. And then there's the version of being broke because you have a broke mindset. You know, like, what is your
you
work
getting
ethic?
deep.
But that's
saying deep. not you, our listeners.
Yeah,
I'm talking about social media.
No, but I'm just saying, like, because there are those who, it's like, okay, you're not where you want to be now, but what are you doing? What's your plan? What's your potential? Like, can she see you going in a certain direction? And generally, women have seen that in me, which is why I was able to still date. You know what I mean? But there was also a level, and so okay, let me and I'll frame this
before you go, because I was asking you a question and then I took it forward. So you pursue? No, that was me. It was my fault. You pursued this young lady. You were able to obviously get her to go out with you. At what point? Because you were saying you weren't broke, right? But like, was there a conversation around finding, like, or did she offer to pay just because, or did she know that it would have been a strain for you? Like, how did those?
Well, our first date, we were just out, and she wanted to go to the spot to eat, and I was like, well, I ain't got no money. She's like, I got it, and I was like, all right.
Okay, so it was just like a, I ain't got it. Okay, right. But did that lead to further conversation, like what our dating relationship would look like as a result, or did it just kind of keep going like that?
I don't really remember all the conversations, but you know, it took a long time for me to actually fail at pursuing a woman. Right. Because up
another flex.
that was an inadvertent flex. But I think not until after her, like anybody who I've pursued, I've succeeded. So okay, let's take the first one, the first one you know about, right? 7 years. And so in the discussion that I was having on my cousin's page, it was being said, oh, dude, like, if you broke, why would you drag her into that? Or why, it's like the dudes are doing something to women when they're not broke, right? And I was like, we got to give women more credit. I was like, number one, she's grown.
Right.
That's a grown woman making a grown woman decision. Now, unless he's being deceitful and dishonest, which happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if he's being up and up about his situation, you have a grown woman decision to make. And it's okay if you don't choose him based on whatever your criteria is. Now, you may or may not be missing out, but you have a decision to make, right? And so that's why I was like, she's grown. And then you do have those women who, and we even talked about it in another episode. It's like so many women like, I don't need your finance. I don't need your money. Right? Okay. Bet. Now I get being able to take care of yourself because I don't want to take care of you. But it's like love is just as much of a necessity as money is. And so it's like, to tell me, like, one thing, it's like, so love can push you to a certain level of ambition or peace or clarity of mind to be able to get to a certain point. Now, conversely, you get with the wrong woman and you can be financially fine and she can drive you broke. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about the influence of a woman and we talk about, oh, behind every great man is this, and this. Okay, so am I supposed to be great before I get you? Or does that occur after we're together, in which, you know what I mean? So, and we talk about like Barack and Michelle all the time, and everybody wants a Barack. And I've said before, but are you Michelle?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the world fell in love with President Obama. Michelle fell in love with Barack.
Very.
With Barry. You see what I'm saying? Michelle and there was a post that I wrote a long time ago, after he had given his final speech as president, and it was called The Look, and I was explaining how, he was giving all his thank yous and stuff like that, and then he got to Michelle, and he turned to her, and all he said was her name, and he just gave this look and this little half crooked smile, and just kind of like paused, and everybody just cheered because they knew what it meant. Like, he didn't even say anything yet, but it was, and what I was explaining, it was like that one moment, just by saying her name, was every thank you, every I love you, every, like, just all of it. And it was just amazing to see, because it was understanding what this woman had done for him, and stood by and stood through. And I was saying, the world borrowed him for 8 years, and now we had to give him back to her. And this was a woman that was accomplished, more so than him, and played the background to his foreground for 8 years, and waited 8 years. So now, and then it was my turn, and then he was like, and I support you. Now I'm the background for however long it is, which is probably going to be longer than the 8 years.
Right.
And so, but what I'm saying is, he didn't get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he had a vision for himself, whether it was president or not, I don't know, but he had the courage and the wherewithal of himself. Like, I'm gonna ask this woman who supervises me, who's more accountable, I'm gonna ask her out, and I'm gonna take her out in this car with a hole in the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and that's what she fell in love with. It wasn't the money, but she saw something else in him. She had to. Knowing the woman, she saw something.
That's a good point. So, to me, it says character on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But is that what we're dealing with someone who is going to rank finances as a number one? I mean, I would hate to say you have a lack of character because you're concerned about finance, because maybe you come from, money. Like, sometimes people are trying to protect their interests, so they only want to be with, somebody that doesn't want them from it. Like, you never really know all of the reasons why, but based on what you shared, I'm just saying.
But
like,
I'm saying, but it is, and what I'm saying is, I'm giving women more credit. Like, I'm coming to the defense of women in the sense that there's a lot of dudes that are saying this. Oh, if you broke, you ain't got no business dating, and there's women that say, but there's a lot of dudes that say it too. And what I'm saying is, give women more credit of their choices. Right? She has a choice. And so, because women have chosen me, and I wasn't in the place that I am now. Like, I've not dated since having money. I got way more action and play when I was broke. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Because now that I'm financially stable, I'm busy. I'm always fucking working.
That is the next point. Okay.
I don't have the time. So it's like,
there's not
right. I meet women and they're like, oh, are you just going to text me to death, or when are we going out, or blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I'm tired. Like, after we log off and record tonight, these shows, I'm going to bed because I got to get up at 4 a.m.
That is it. That is it right there. Because that money, it costs something.
Money costs. Making money costs. And so I just feel like all of the women, even the relationships that didn't work, like I'll say, Jay, the one 7 years, she was with me. And I mean, granted, we were young, but financially, she was far more financially responsible than I was. Right. And I wasn't there. And so I had mindsets where I know how or allow her to be strong in the areas where I was weak, to be a partner so that we can be strong financially, because she literally was like, babe, why don't you give me your checks and let me pay your bills for you? Right. Because you messing up. We're not married. We live separate places, none of that. But she was like, let me help you. Right. for the good of you, because if you get you right now, then there can be a us. That's not what she was saying. I know that now.
Right.
But me, I don't need no woman to do blah, blah, blah. I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And in the middle of my sentence, the lights get cut off. So I'm like, right now, I will say this. Now, the oxymoron, because we're young, she was complaining because I didn't have the money to go out. So she started complaining about, we don't never go anywhere. We don't never do shit, blah, blah, blah. All right. So baby wants to go out. I'm going to take baby out. So took her out, whatever. Then my lights get cut off. She's like, well, why the fuck are your lights getting cut off? Why are you not paying the bill? I didn't have the money. Well, where are you spending your money? On you. So then she was like, but why you didn't just tell me no? Because you was jumping on my case about I never took you out. So what? I don't give a fuck what I said. If your bill's about to cut off,
I don't want you in the dark. Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And young, dumb in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I thought I was doing good by taking you out. But then there was a moment where I think she got it. Sort of. So there was one night, I'm tired, like, right. I'm tired, right? I've been working all day. I'm worn out. She was like, can we go out? And I'm like, babe, I'm tired. She's like, please, I just really want to get out the house. I want to go. I was like, look, I don't have any money. She was like, nigga, I'll pay for it. Damn, I just want to go out. I was like, I bet. Cool. So she wanted to go to Grand Lux, right? Mm-hmm. That's her little. So we going to Beverly Hills? Oh, okay. You want to get fancy tonight? Right. Spot. So we get dressed, and so we were supposed to do dinner and a movie. Bet. We at dinner. I'm sitting there like struck. So I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, all right, well, you know, what's the budget? Because I'm not trying to, you know, no, I didn't even ask that. I was like, I was ordering cheap. She was like, you ain't got to get that. Just get whatever you want. Mm-hmm. I'm paying. I was like, okay, bet we'll do that. So we order, we eat, and after we eat, I'm getting tired, right? So she see me. I'm sitting there like, she was like, you getting tired? Oh my God. So we not going to the movies? I'm like, man, I'm tired.
Unless you want me to take a nap on your dime.
Right. No. So the check comes, right? And they give her the check and she opened it up and she looked at it. And you know how little she was, right? So the whole thing is covering her face like this. And she's looking at it and she goes just like this. She goes, we don't have to go to the movies if you don't want to. If you're too tired, we don't have to. I was like, what? I was like, oh, nah, I'm good. I got my second win now. Yeah, we finna go to. I was like, yo, little ass C. So it just so happened the movie had shut down. It wasn't open anymore. So she got saved there. Oh, okay. But her ass shut up. But to her credit, we did a lot of broke things and had fun. You know, like we did some illegal stuff. Not something that's gonna take us like. We would go. She used to love Miss Pac-Man, right? So we would go. We went on a date to go to Santa Monica Pier, so we can go to the arcade and have a Miss Pac-Man battle. Okay. But all we had was a pocket full of quarters, right? But you know, parking was a bitch and it was expensive. Mm-hmm. So what we would do, we'll go there. We drive around. We find somebody who already had a ticket on their car. We took the ticket. We took the ticket off their car and put it. Not the I can't say the validation. The parking
like
ticket.
A parking ticket. Yeah.
We took the parking ticket off, put it on ours so the cops wouldn't give us another ticket like we already had a ticket. And then when we was done, we would put it back on the car that got the ticket.
I was going to say, I hope somebody is not walking around thinking they didn't.
Oh, nah. We let them know they got a ticket. Or we would go to the movies. We were like, hey, how much you got? You got $2? Okay, I got like $7. We got enough for one movie ticket. So we would go buy one movie ticket. She'll go in and then she'll come out and say, she's like, oh, I forgot something in the car. Can you remember my face? You know, she's all little and cute. So I'm like, oh yeah. Or some dude. So she'll come outside, give me the stub. She walk back in, wave at him like, oh, I'm back. They let her go in. And then I come in with the stub like, yeah, I'm about to go tomorrow. Hey. And then we movie hop after that.
I'm not mad at that. And you know what? Again, this is all character. But like not because this is illegal stuff, but like you're being ingenious as far as I'm concerned. Like, I think that's the kind of stuff that does make money at the end of the day. Like you said, like you have the ability, you're creative, you know, you have fun together, and you probably are happy when you're, you know, broke.
Because money brings problems. I'm like, we was literally splitting hot dogs, and like we was hungry. I had 4 buns and 2 hot dogs. I split them 2 hot dogs down the middle. I had a can of chili, stuffed them bitches, and we ate good and was happy.
I love it. I love it. But also, I mean, even though she might have been doing quote unquote better, or maybe was managing her money better, it wasn't like financially she was leaps and bounds above you either. So you know, going back to how people match up or how they are comfortable matching, I think, you know, someone who has a lot of, and I guess it could swing both ways. Some people have money and they are more interested in like, are you a decent human being? I don't need you to pay for anything because I got it. And then there are some people who want to match more equally because, okay, you won't ask me for anything, or you won't only be after me for what I have. I think ultimately it's just about being honest about what you have and what you want. You know, like, what do I have to offer? Not just financially, but what do I have to offer? And what is it that I need in return? As you were telling that story, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, no, you know, as I've dated, and I have not dated men that I would consider broke. I generally dated very ambitious men, to the point of like, oh my God, he never has any time. But that's the risk. It's like, do you want somebody that is, you know, ambitious, that's a mover, shaker, that's successful? Then this is what comes with it. And you can't, you know, kind of curse that and then, you know, get mad if they don't have the finances or the means to live the type of life that you want to live, or to finance whatever it is that you're doing date wise. So decisions, decisions.
I get it. Well, yeah. So we're gonna move into final thoughts. So what are your final thoughts? We've talked about so much.
I know.
This evening we've been all over the place.
Well, I think ultimately, I just thankful that I'm a woman. Maybe that's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna end with. Right. I've never had anybody ask me how much I make, like even to this day. And I don't know if it's just not important, if, you know, I don't know, you know, kind of what it is. And, but I do understand that there are some men that are raised like, you know, you are to provide, and that is the end. But like you said earlier, I've watched some men be the provider or ball out or whatever the term is, and then like kind of buy their way into shenanigans or out of shenanigans, right? Like I can treat you any kind of way. I can come and go as I please because there's a handbag on the other end of that. There's, you know, your rent's paid, driving the latest whip, blah, blah, blah. And I remember always feeling like, you know, yeah, I guess it would be nice to have somebody to, you know, pay for this or that, but it's not worth it if at the other end of that means you're going to treat me like trash. And so, you know, I think the sweet spot is being able to have a partner, someone that is working and or maybe they're a trust fund baby, but they have their own and you have your own, and that you are either able to merge the two, or maybe if you all decide, you know, what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine. But ultimately at the end of the day, it really is about who the two of you are together in that relationship, or if you're just starting out, you know, how that person makes you feel, or the type of kind of interaction that happens between the two of you. I think there definitely is a lot of weight put on finances. And I think we attempted to try to go like, where does that come from? And again, no one ever told me that, but I saw it modeled. And so it wasn't necessarily an expectation, but I think you did pay attention to, you know, who has and who doesn't, and what type of limitation that puts on you. I think when you have it, you're probably like, okay, I'll pay for it or whatever. I think where it gets murky is when you start having to sacrifice for somebody else's decisions. If I can kind of just tie it all together, right? Like if we're dating and, you know, the things that I wanted to do, whether you pay for it or I pay for it, we were able to do it, I think there's less problem. It's like, oh, it's no problem, I got it. But, you know, if I'm brokey too, that's a no-go, because I'm going to want to go out to eat, right? And why don't you have it? So
it's your fault I don't have it.
Your fault that I don't have it. So I think that, you know, again, kind of the likeness, you know, people that have the like situations where they can find ways to have fun, it works out. But again, the whole character part, right? Like being understanding for some that are in a comfortable place. You and I, at this point, we can say we're very, very blessed to have gotten through many of the storms, right? And so
but we had fun during the storms.
We had fun during the storms, but we also realized that we were not immune to storm. So if we're with somebody that is in a storm, I think we're more apt to be understand or have been through the course of our lives, right? Understanding that this person is not necessarily where they want to be, but they're on their way, right? Yeah. Versus, oh, you don't have it, I don't want to be bothered. So that's a part when I talk about being understanding or having the character. And then on the other side, being a go-getter, being ambitious, not being satisfied. We kind of talked about this with Nerd, right? Like you might not be where you want to be, but do you have a plan? Are you thinking about it? Are you writing things down? Are you in the want ads every day? I mean, like, are you doing something to advance your life forward? Not for me, but for you. Because what if we're not together tomorrow? You know, hopefully you're not trying to live off somebody. Hashtag Boo came through and dropped off a little extra drink while I was talking.
Look at him. So my final thoughts is a lot of what you said, and it's kind of just tied up to the sentiment that men are never allowed to struggle. We talked about storms, but men are never allowed to go through those storms because the expectation is always just like, oh, well, who's going to hold it down if something happens? It's like, well, what if something happens to me? Like it's never allowed to happen to me. And so 2 quick stories to kind of wrap it up. I had a friend that was married. She's in her second marriage. The first marriage, dude didn't have dough. Like, you know, he was broke, whatever. And he ended up cheating on her. Right. And so she divorced him, moved away, got married again. And because she's like, the next time I'm just marrying for money. So next to she married, makes dough, right?
She said,
but he treats her like shit. She wasn't real specific and he don't do shit for her, right? So we were talking. She was like, I met someone who has dough and is generous. I was like, yeah, you got to be real specific. Because he got dough, but he ain't sharing it with her. But she makes great money herself. You know what I mean? And so I was a friend of mine took me to breakfast the other morning for my birthday, and we're talking about relationships, and she was just talking about like some of her angst, and she was like, I want to be with someone, and I want to come home, and I don't want to make any decisions. I don't want to do anything. I just want to know that it's taken care of, right? And I was like, that's really fucking selfish.
But
I know, because here's the thing. Did
you see me close my eyes when you said?
Yeah, because you were like, and I was like, watch this, because here's the thing, because this is what you're literally saying. You go into the world every day, so does he. And so what you're saying is, hey, you go in the world and work all day, and then come home and work and take care of everything. So that I can do nothing. I was like, so he doesn't get tired.
Oh, she wasn't talking about doing something.
No. It was like, here, you take care of it. Because in my life now, I take care of everything. I'm like, but in his life right now, guess what he's doing? Taking care of everything. I was like, if you come together, guess what? Taking care of half of the things that need to be taken care of is still less than having to do all by yourself. Half with someone is not the same as all by yourself.
Absolutely.
But you're talking about you want to come with somebody to do nothing. And so what you're literally saying is you want a man that's looking for a liability. We're not out, and so that's the sentiment when the women that's he got to have this, he got to be able to do that. It's like, no, men are not out here looking like, damn, who bills can I pay? That's not what we're looking for, because how does that, having that mindset that a man is supposed to just come and solve all your problems, or because and you see that done. We need to do this on WTF, like, oh, if you in a relationship and you struggling, you really single,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what about if he's struggling as well? Like or what if he's doing okay, sustaining himself, and he doesn't have enough to sustain you and him?
Yeah.
You may, if you're struggling because of the decisions you made. You see what I'm saying? And so it's always about him coming to save you. But if he's ever struggling, girl, leave that, run, red flag.
Yeah, that's a
if he's experiencing the same shit you are, red flag if it's him. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to think logically about certain things and look past, like, if you struggling, you better be coming with a hell of a something else, because it has to balance out in some area, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I'm coming in and listen, you're bringing me peace, you're bringing me this, and some of the things that I need and value, right? And and I have enough money to be able to help you to get to a level to where we're at homeostasis as a team. Okay, but in people's value system, it varies, right? But finance is a real thing, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter, so you have to have, what's the plan to get to that place to where our lives make sense together, and we're not coming together and you're bringing somebody else down. That at the end of the day,
yeah,
you're right. It's like, as long as you're not bringing somebody else down, you may not be where you want to be, but if we come together and we can go up together, as long as when we get together, we're not going down.
Yeah.
You may be okay with, maybe we can't go out as much, or we got to get creative with the dates or something like that. Because really what we're talking about is leisure. When we say, when we're talking broke, blah, 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 we're typically talking about leisure. Because when they say, can he sustain himself? Okay, but where does the leisure come in? Mm-hmm. Right? Because that's what we really want. We want to go out and do chill. Things.
Yeah. Or vacation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you might have to get more creative in your leisure, because let's be honest, if you're a woman who's dating, you're not dating one dude at a time. Not at the beginning. If you out here dating, you're dating. Or no, actually, you're not dating, you're getting dated. Right? Dude's just trying to take you out, and you don't have to pay for shit. Right? So if a man is doing that same thing, how many dates am I having to pay for? How many women? You know what I mean? So the experience is like, maybe I can only afford,
which is why cheating doesn't make sense to me, unless you just unless your pockets is fat like that.
Listen. Well, that's the assumption that cheating costs, because
then there's
you ain't going out on dates and shit if you doing it. If you a dude that's cheating and you out going on dates, and you just stupid. You out in public, bro, you don't give a fuck. You must got mad though. If you doing that, dudes are mad though, do that shit. You on your Tiger Woods right there. But out in Vegas with Jordan and Barkley and shit, she's like, where the hoes at? Yeah, you got to watch that documentary. I was getting so pissed. We'll talk about that offline.
Okay, but that's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, okay. And it's 2 parts. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I was triggered by a particular demographic on that show. But y'all, that's been dating while broke, y'all. We can go maybe, and we'll probably bring back the episode and get some different perspectives, because I think there's some other directions that we can go with that conversation. Mm-hmm. So this has been another dope episode of The Crossroads. Yay. We love y'all. And in closing, as always, remember, be free to be you.
Have a great one.
Peace, y'all.
We want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and register for our email list for more episodes and projects from your hosts, Barzini and Dre Renee. Until next time, this has been the Crossroads Podcast. And remember, be free to be you.